All right, hello and welcome to another cast for StarCastTV. I'm iRk-RoyalBlue, and joining me here is my co-caster Shroom of Doom, and we're going to be casting today a TVP between Snow and Sari. And so here we have Snow spawning in the top at 12 o'clock as I think this is Teal Protoss, and then in the bottom right we have Sari spawning as the Black Terran, or maybe Dark Gray Terran there.
Yeah, well, I don't know, kind of looks brown to me.
Okay.
But I mean, well, nevertheless, yeah. The map is Lunar Horizon. Kind of an interesting map. One of the newer maps, right? I mean, I've never seen this map before. How about you?
Yeah, I've never seen it as well. Maybe it's a map it's more common in the Korean scene, but I've definitely never seen it as like a ladder map or even included in any tournaments. So it might be a newer map.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's only two possibilities. It's either a newer map or it's like a map that existed like a million years ago,
Yeah,
and
that
then
no
he
one
just
plays.
came back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Story versus Snow, as you already mentioned, both excellent players, right? Really top tier players. Both players have played in the ASL before, so I mean we're looking at the highest levels of play right here. And we're thrilled to see what these two players will bring.
Yeah, this is going to be a great game, or this has been a great series even between Snow and Sari. And these are, as you mentioned, like basically the top of the top as far as Korean gamers go. So this will be exciting to watch. And we've seen some interesting strategies from both these players, especially I think Sari opened up with a Wraith play one of these games, right? So definitely anything is possible here between these players, but right now it seems they're playing standard. We see a gas for the Terran player, so most likely he's going for some kind of factory, maybe a factory expand. And then from Protoss, also getting a Cybernetics core and a gas, so it looks like they're going to start into Dragoons, or actually here's the first Zealot coming out at 210, it starts in production, so it should be out around 240. And depending on the scouting from Sari here, he should be prepared for this first Zealot as it makes its way towards his base.
Yeah, unfortunately, Story does scout the wrong position, at
Mm-hmm.
first. So he may not see the Zealot in transition. We'll have to see. But fortunately for him, he does have a bit of a sim city at the front, with the barracks and the supply depot, and with his micro, I'm sure he'll be okay. But I mean, we can't count out Snow though. I mean, he is one of the best, if not the best, Reaver microer in the world when it comes to Protoss. So I mean, his micro, no, it's not bad. That's all I
Yeah,
gotta say about
Snow
it.
definitely known
It's
for
good.
his micro here. And we see Sari's SCV just barely missing that first Zealot. The bunker is about halfway up, and here comes the Zealot trying to get up the ramp. It's actually taking some shots on that bunker now. But at the same time, Sari is able to scout out his opponent's base, and he does see the gateway and the three pylons and the Cybernetics core spinning. So most likely he does expect standard play here, and he's getting his SCV out. The first Dragoon is on the way though, and this bunker needs to get up ASAP, or these Marines will be toast without this bunker.
Yeah, that was huge by Snow. He forced Story to cancel that bunker because Story thought that Snow would kill that bunker before it was completed. It was down to like red health. So now without the bunker, Snow's pushing the issue.
Yeah, now two Marines instantly picked off. A third one looks like it might get focused down here. This Dragoon took a lot of hits early, but so far has just been in the back doing damage. Finally, the Zealot goes down, but he's picked off the SCV building the bunker, so this bunker is being massively delayed, as is any expansion, it looks like, for Sari so far. So Snow kind of in a good position here with this early pressure. I think definitely putting himself a little ahead, and he does go to take his own expansion now. So we see Snow expanding ahead of Sari.
Yeah, definitely Story in a bit of a rough situation, and this all stems from the incorrect SCV scout. I mean, it's luck. Sometimes you get first scout, sometimes you don't, right? A
Mm-hmm.
little bit caught blindside by that first Zealot, and ooh, look at this micro at the natural of a Snow, preventing another scouting SCP from going into his base. So now Story's completely in the dark.
Yeah, this is a horrible feeling for Sari. Snow going up to 3 gateways after denying that scout. So he's going to be looking to put on even more pressure. And Sari has really no idea. He's going to have to drop. Oh, and he doesn't go for an engineering bay. He goes for a second factory. So maybe some mind games coming out of Sari. We have seen him be able to predict what Snow was doing before. Snow going very standard, I think 3 gateway obs it looks like. We don't see a robo just yet though.
Yeah, for a little bit risky going for that second factory when you don't have a scout off. I mean, it could be DTs. I mean, I know there's some things you can do by counting the Dragoon numbers and like by looking at the Nexus timing. 410, 420. There are tell signs, but Protoss can just simply cut probes and get the same amount of Dragoons, right? And a fake Nexus, so to speak, right? Without DT. So this is definitely a little bit of a risky, I think, from Sori, but it's gonna pay off. It's definitely gonna pay off.
Yeah, we see even a third factory here going down from Sari before any kind of additional tech. So he's going to be going for a timing push here as he builds up his tank count. He's going to get up to 3 tanks. He's got mines upgrading. So we see an aggressive play kind of reaction for Sari. He's adding in even more Marines even to this push. So Snow's got to see this and I think expect a timing that he's adding Marines in this late.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Snow has to know by now. It's kind of like, why are you building more Marines? And yeah, of course, you can see Sori pushing across the map right now. Snow does have 3 gates and observatory on the way. So, I mean, he can hold this. He can hold this. He has a good number of Dragoons, right?
Yeah, and he has those 3 gateways of production. He's going to try to hold this ramp, it looks like. He's got a decent force, and we'll see how brave Sari is about poking up here.
Yeah, this is beautiful positioning from Snow, abusing that high ground. Now coming down, staggering forward. Will he be able to get siege tanks?
Some nice mines going down. He gets 1 tank.
Wow, beautiful micro from Snow. He's gonna take it. The high ground just too good.
Yeah,
And loses
Dragoons
all
are strong.
the GG coming out from Sori.
Wow. So really nice game from Snow, showing the power of Protoss there, taking that one. And let's try to get into our next game. So here we go into our next game of this best of 5, and it's between Snow and Sari. And we see Sari spawning in the top right as the yellow Terran, and Snow in the bottom right as it looks like the gray Protoss. And we just saw Snow take down Sari with a pretty standard play, really, going from first the Zealot into some Dragoon pressure, and then just shutting down the first move out from Sari. So we're going to look to see Sari try to make a better play than he did in the last game. And maybe he'll scout, get a little luckier scout and see that Zealot coming into his base so his bunker has time to get up. Because that really made all the difference, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, StarCraft is a game of seconds. It's a game of like split second decisions, and sometimes you get unlucky, right? You don't get the first scout, you don't see the Zealot come or something like that, and things like this can happen. But as I said, it's all part of the game, right? And it's all part of why we love this game. Like all the small decisions, all the even the luck involved, right? Makes for really, really interesting gameplay. And so anyway, getting back to this game, this will be Polypoid.
Yeah, Polypoid. So this should be a more standard map for these players. This is like a ladder map, so I expect these guys to be prepared with the scouting paths and know exactly where their opponents are spawning at. And maybe that made a difference too for Sari in the last game, because he did just narrowly miss that first Zealot. But here we see Sari's going for a forward Rax, so this looks like it might be a forward barracks. So it looks like it might be maybe a fast expand here.
Yeah, absolutely right, Royal. I agree. It's going to be a gasless expand coming out of Sorry. I mean, I understand why he's doing it. It's a good build. 4-player map. If you get lucky, Protoss gets last scout. You know, definitely you can be ahead economically. Snow looks like he's going for more standard build. We see Gate core. He's not getting Zealot this time, so again, yeah, a bit of a more standard build it seems. And judging from Snow's scouting pattern, he's not going to be able to scout Sorry first. He's going to scout him last, right?
Yeah, it looks like the unlucky play from last game is going to work out for him this game, and he's going to get his fast expansion without too much pressure. We see a command center already going down in the net, and now one Marine being produced as well as a supply depot to build a little Sim City. But yeah, if there was a fast Zealot and it was already making its way to Sorry's base, he could be in trouble. But seeing that his opponent went Dragoon first, as we can, and seeing that he's scouting in the wrong direction, this should be a pretty easy expansion now for Sorry to kind of take. And it's going to be up to Snow to see, once he scouts this, how is he going to react? Is he going to take his own expansion, maybe even double expand, or is he going to play aggressive and go for some kind of Reaver or maybe even a DT?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Getting last scout like this as Protoss against the Terran, which is Rax expanded, never a good feeling, right? Never a good feeling as Protoss. And you're spot on, right? It's basically the two things you can either do is some kind of aggression, maybe a Reaver play while taking your third, or just try to go, double expand yourself, right? I mean, there are risks to each follow up, right? I mean, but we'll have to see exactly what.
Yeah,
Snow
we'll
does.
see how Snow decides to play this. There's definitely multiple options, but here he is putting down that proxy pylon, so it does look like he's going to put a Robo out there and try to walk a Reaver out here. He does scout the expansion. There's only 2 Marines in the bunker at this time, and now Sari's going to get over to his opponent's base and see this Nexus, so that might let him put his guard down a little bit as far as expecting a Robo coming out, proxy Robo play.
Oh, did you see that? Dragoon, the pathing, it let the SCV into
Yeah.
Snow's base. So so now Sori sees everything. He sees like there's no Robo
Oh,
in.
here comes the second SCV, and it's going to scout this proxy.
Wow. Okay. Beautiful play from Sori.
Yeah.
Just absolutely beautiful play. He sees everything. He knows what's going on. Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Snow can do any damage with this proxy robo. I know that a proxy robotics, it's good if you get it started, like if you get like, let's say first scout on a Terran and then you build it immediately, you can definitely walk a Reaver out and take
Mm-hmm.
shots at the bunker and take it down before siege mode is done. But the fact that Snow scouted Sori last and then dropped the robotics at a proxy location, I don't think he's going to be able to get a Reaver out
Yeah.
before tanks and siege mode are out.
Yeah, and it got pretty much instantly scouted by Sari, so some great scouting and a little bit of a misplay letting that SCV into his base. Snow made, or maybe just lost focus there, because it did give Sari, it seems like, the scouting information he needed to send out that second SCV and scout the proxy location. But here we have 2 factory tank production coming in. No siege mode on the way just yet. He's actually going for mines, it looks like. So he might try to hold this with just siege tanks, which could be a risky play because I think you need siege mode against this.
Yeah, I think he might be trying for some kind of like a 3-tank push. That's what I mean. Story that is. Yeah, that is a little risky because if Snow was going like Reaver, right, and then shuttle, it would get shut down hard. But I guess Sori figures that like since he scouted it, Snow's not going to go for Reaver anymore. And you can
Yeah,
see, yeah, he's not going for Reaver. He's just going for Observatory, right?
yeah, this is an intense mind game here to go for a timing when he thought he was getting attacked by a proxy robo, or at least that's what he scouted. But now he's actually committed his tanks quite far ahead, and he may even lose 2 of them. Oh, wow, so very close control there, and he does keep that tank alive, taking out this robo early too with only 1 obs out, it looks like. So good play again from Sorry, and he may even be able to hold this high ground. Oh, and he does lose the tank before he gets a chance to repair it there. But more vultures coming out on the way. He's getting siege mode and speed as well. So with only one tank alive, it'll be hard for him to attack, but he is massing up vultures, so he might try to do some kind of vulture play now that he has limited the amount of goons that are out on the map. And we see these vultures with speed engaging some dragoons out in the middle. Oh no, they don't have speed yet. They just look
Just fine,
fast.
yeah. But speed's on the way.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
here's
I mean,
the
oh no, go ahead, go ahead.
here's the armory going down, and we see a starport as well for Sari. So Sari may be even trying to opt for some drops. But on the other side of things, we have Snow taking a third expansion.
Yeah, you're on the money. Yeah, he is going dropship as well. I think it's a good response. You know, he only has one observer out, and I think that Sori kind of figures this, right? His robo's probably not going to be done in time to get another observer out. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe he will. Robotics is already done on Snow's side of the map, and he is going for that support bay, which is probably for Reavers. I mean, I was gonna say like, yeah, I think a drop can get a lot done because with only one observer on the field, but it looks like Snow will be able to get observers before the drop hits. Yeah, but that being said, I do believe Sori is in a tremendous lead right now, looking at how the game is going, right?
Yeah, he's even on supply. He's got his third base building on location, so his third timing isn't even going to be that delayed compared to his Protoss opponent. He is still on just 2 factories, adding a third now.
Oh, sorry,
And
hold
here's
that
the
thought. Look at the
drop.
main. Look at the main of Snow. 3 vultures coming in, looking to do some damage, getting some pro kills, and ooh, what nice mine placement, killing that dragoon.
Yeah, and he zoned out this other Dragoon, so now he's able to start wreaking havoc on this probe line, taking out a few probes already. And he's really not even... Oh, he's had to cancel his own expansion now at the third location as it was counterattacked by Dragoons. But during all of this, he's kept those vultures alive, and now he's running into the Nat as he's got Snow's Dragoons out of position again. And he's killing even more probes over here. Oops.
Ooh,
Okay.
nice pull. Saving those probes. That could have been bad, man. That could have been bad.
Yeah, that was good control, actually, to separate his probes from the Dragoon there. But this has been worth its weight in gold for our Terran player, Sari, because he's totally delayed Protoss and taken out a lot of probes, putting himself ahead in the worker count.
Yeah, for sure. He did good work with those vultures. I guess the only downside is, yeah, as you mentioned, he did lose his command center, so that kind of equals things up. You know what I'm saying? Like if he had kept that command center
Yeah.
alive, like it would have most definitely have been a good game, right? Oh, and but look at 6 o'clock. Look at 6 o'clock. 2 tank dropship coming in. Zori looking to probably get some splash hits.
Yeah, there is a Reaver that was just in this location, but it's retreating, and here it is arriving, but there was some 6 splash hits from that siege tank, and it's already taken out 5 probes. And his other tank has 3 kills, and now 4. And he's microing it now. Some pretty intense micro against that Reaver. Some good control there, and he's managed to get some damage off on that Reaver and killed a few probes, so I like that harassment too. I think he was just a little too risky there trying to build his third on location, and now he is floating his third down, and he's got tanks to defend it, so it's going to be hard for Sari to punish this third now. He is swinging his Dragoons around the other side of this terrain so he can attack up the other side of the ramp. And coming more from the middle of the map with his Dragoons and Observer. He's going to be able to take out some mines, kills a Vulture, but not enough to really threaten this tank line here, I don't think.
Yeah. Do you still remember that tank micro we saw at the 6 o'clock? It reminds me of remember Slayer's boxer?
Yes!
A legend himself. Yeah, Lim Johan, right?
Yeah, definitely some old games you would see Slayer's Boxer pulling that kind of move off, and so we can see the influence on the modern day gamers. It's still there, so that's some kind of homage to Slayer's Boxer, I think.
Yeah, brought a tear to my eye when I saw that the tank versus Reaver micro. All right, yeah, let's take stock of the game. Snow is trying to slow down and deny Sori's third. I mean, it's really huge, and it's really meta these days, you know? Like, the Protoss always tries to deny the turn third, but looks like he's not able to do it the second time, and wow, Sori's macro is now kicking off, right? And, you know, all things considered, I still do believe Story to be ahead of a little bit ahead of Snow. And one way you can tell is that the Terran supply is up on the Protoss supply. Now, in this matchup, whenever you see this kind of like situation, you know it's not a good for the Protoss, right? Protoss should always be up on supply until we get to 200, of course.
Yeah, I agree. I think partially that may be due to the amount of vultures that we've seen from Sari here. Um, as vultures do take up a lot of supply and they're kind of cheap to build. But I agree. I think we're seeing a Terran player who's ahead, getting their upgrades, and are going to be in a good situation for the late game as they are on a similar base count. And here, this tank is even being more aggressive. He's dropping it and sieging it below the expansion here at the third base for Snow. Oh, and just barely gets that Dragoon. But now we see a fourth base for Snow. He's building cannons there to defend it. And once he gets these probes there to saturate it, he will be back ahead on bases, which is exactly where Snow wants to be. It's just been a while since he's been there. So now he's taking a fifth base, it looks like, in this bottom left corner, this second main, which is going to be crucial for him if he does want to play this late game and win against Terran.
Right, but I'm worried for Snow, man. I'm worried. I mean, he's taking the bases now, but you know, Sori's he's almost maxed out. You know, with good upgrades, he's gonna push out soon. And I mean, you don't need 200 as Terran. Like you need only about 180 with 2-1 upgrades, and you can like yeah, Sori's just doing that. He's starting to move out right now. Like
Yeah.
Snow can take the bases he wants, but like they're not gonna kick in. You know what I'm saying? Before the big attack from Terran comes.
I agree. We're seeing Sari has a good timing here. He's ahead on supply. He's got a good amount of tanks and Goliath and Vulture with this army. And there's no real like Arbiter out. The Arbiter is on the way. There's no like storms, I don't think. There is some shuttles with Reavers in them. There's one shuttle with Reavers, and I think there's another shuttle with Zealots. But that's really not enough against these many Goliath. And you're saying speed's not done, so this is going to be even more of a problem. And here we go. Sari's just kind of brute forcing his way down. He's got so many tanks, but this is a bad spot for Terran to engage in. At least Protoss has the high ground. But yeah, the lack of speed on those Zealots is really coming in. Ooh, that was a nice mine.
Yeah, things not looking good for the Protoss, man. The Terran army just too strong, too heavily upgraded. 2-1 against +1 Oni. These Protoss units are gonna melt.
Yeah, he could win this almost just with pure Vulture, it looks like. Okay, now here come the Dragoons. But the tanks are in the back, and there's a lot of them. So these Dragoons are forced off the high ground. And so Sari's just slowly inching his way down here now. And he has enough to overwhelm this force. So he doesn't even need to take a fourth base now if he can just end the game with this single push. Snow is desperately trying to buy time and get his Arbiter out. Here he is going for it, though. He's going to need some nice hits. He unloads his 4 Zealots from that shuttle, but they just die instantly, and now this looks like it's over for Snow. His Arbiter finally arrives, but it's too late, I think.
Yeah, too little, too late. Another big problem for Snow is that all his gates are concentrated in his main. You know.
Yeah.
Once the turn chokes off like the production for the main, I mean, there's the Protoss can't do anything, right? They don't have they don't have mass gates in his in his bottom left, so.
Yeah, taking those extra bases could have paid off if he got a lot of gates and maybe a minute or two more of respite to mass up. But Sari hitting a great timing here, and he's just outnumbered Snow. And with his 2-1 upgrades, it's just too much Terran for Protoss to withstand.
Yeah, the sun is setting on ire slowly but surely. I mean, it's only a matter of time before Snow has got to tap out. I can't see a way for him to come back, man, from this.
Yeah, we do see Sari setting up a fourth base, and there's Snow calling good game. He knows his production was just cornered and destroyed. So that's it for our series with Sari taking that last game. So thank you all for joining us for this cast of StarCast TV, and I enjoyed casting these games. I hope you tune in for us next time. But that's it from me and my co-caster Shroom.